A spooky saga by Aiden. The dare of lifetime. No, I dare you to enter a house for $50. If it's not that scary, I will. When I get there, I take a close look at the outside. The house is in the middle of nowhere. The moon is dark red and the path is very crooked. I entered the Figowitz house. It's about 235 years old. Then the door shuts behind me fast. Then a blood-sucking monster that is 12 feet tall comes chasing after me. Then I ran for ages. I finally found a way out. Then I started to run. Nobody found me again.
A spooky saga by Michael. The scariest haunted house. One day there was a kid named Jake. Jake thought it was a good idea to go into a haunted house. As soon as Jake went into the house, he got chased by a monster and he kept running from room to room. Jake looked back and he thought he was free. Jake entered a pitch black room thinking that he was safe. Suddenly, Jake felt breathing on the back of his neck and something tickling his back. Suddenly, the lights turned on. The monster had a button. He clicked it. Jake fell into a pit of lava. Jake was never seen again.
A spooky saga by Kingston. The haunted house. A kid named Rocco walked into a haunted house as a dare. Everything seemed perfectly fine to Rocco at first, but then a werewolf-like monster with horns came from the shadows, and Rocco ran for his life. The monster got him and tried to pull Rocco into the basement. Rocco tried to fight back, but the monster was too strong and pulled Rocco into the basement. In the basement, Rocco was fighting for his life, but after that, Rocco was never seen again, and nobody knows what actually happened to Rocco after he went to that haunted house at all.
A spooky saga by Emily. Smitty at midnight. Amara, do it, Lainey said. Fine, Amara replied. So she went into the graveyard, and it wasn't bad. She went a couple minutes without anything weird happening. But just then, she sees a strange name. Smitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen. Just then, Smitty's hand. She was horrified. A few minutes later, she was being chased. Amara sprinted home lightning fast, and luckily there she found Lainey. She told her all about what happened. Lainey replied, "Scared cat." "Really?" Amara asked. "Really?" Lainey said. Amara spent the rest of her life thinking about that night, and Smitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen.
A spooky saga written by Trace. The friend phrase. Trace woke up. He was late. He went to school and his best friend was not there. Jeff said to meet him at the abandoned house. It was chained up with only one way out. After school, I went in the house. Jeff was right inside the door. I walked over to him and he said, "Watch out," and pushed me aside. A monster grabbed him and dragged him into the wall. I found him 2 stories above with blood and bruises all over him. "Let's go, Jeff." Jeff said no and started to laugh. No one ever saw Jeff again. A spooky saga read by Rocco's Head. The graveyard. Mwahaha. One day, 3 teenage boys were in the town's graveyard. Jacob wanted to play tag because the graves made it a challenge. When they started, James was it. They were playing, and Jacob climbed up the tallest gravestone and it shattered. He face planted and zombies rose from the ground. He yelled, "Zombies!" They ran as fast as they could, and James fell, which caused the other boys to fall. They became zombie food. No one ever found them. Mwahaha, a kid yelled.